But let's get kicking, my brother.
Yes, sir. First off, I'd like to thank you for doing this interview with the Hype Magazine tonight.
Hey, I appreciate you, man, for reaching out. Plus, Sincere is a good friend of mine, so whatever she say, I do.
Yeah, definitely, man. We go way back. I'm excited to have this conversation with you. But for people who's not familiar, can you tell them who you are and where you from?
Well, I'm Bigga Rankin. I'm A&R. I think it's a game record.
Yeah.
Been a DJ for about 28 years. I'm from Jamaica.
Okay.
Really enjoy doing what I do. I'm close to retirement, but every time I try, I have something else to do, so I got to keep going.
Now, with you being from Jacksonville, Florida, did it make it harder for you or easier for you to get into the music industry?
It was cool. I just needed more media. That's why I moved to Atlanta, because I needed more media.
Okay. And when did you get started as a DJ? Like, what timeline did you get started?
Well, I was going to high school in Chicago, and I was going to Sullivan High School and Evanston High School. I went to both those high schools, and I had friends, and in my household, I had cousins that got little sound systems in the basement. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when they went to work, I just was playing the records all the time, and they never got mad at me unless I broke something.
Yeah.
So I was just into it. I was into music, like ever since I was a kid. I feel like music is something that always caught my ear. Like I love, I grew up in Jamaica where we listen Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers. My parents listened to all type of the Never Brothers, different type of music. So it's like I'm exposed to every type of music. Plus I was hardcore reggae and then, the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I started at a young age messing with the music.
Who were some of your early mentors, either people in Chicago that you were around or people you studied when you got started?
Man, when I started, it was crazy because they got this Jamaican artist called Josie Wells.
Yeah.
And he had a song, and I could get on the mic and do the song just like he do it. And everybody used to laugh. It was just funny. And one night, they had a club in Chicago owned by this guy named Billy. It was called the Watering Hole, and they played reggae. It's a reggae band, and when the band is finished, then you play some music, So the DJ didn't come one night, and he was like, "Hey, Billy, man, go up there and spin." I said, "I don't know how to spin no music, because, I was rapping that reggae stuff at the time. I wasn't playing no music." He said, "Let's just put the record on and just put it on, let it play. It's the break. It's the band break. You ain't got to be no super DJ." And I put it on, and I got on the microphone, and I just started tripping, and everybody just love it,
Yep.
And I was still in high school at the time. We just sneak and go there on Thursday nights,
Yeah.
When I went to school that Friday, my friend Mike and George, they were like, "Hey, man, everybody crazy about that stuff," because I was just joking about people. But, it was cool. It was a cool atmosphere. It was a vibe, you know what I'm saying? And from there on, man, I was gone. I was out of there.
Now, what was the first? You've had a lot of successes, a lot of wins throughout your career. What was the first sign you made the right decision to get into this entertainment industry and that you were going to be highly successful as you are today?
Because the way I play music, I used to talk before I put the record on.
Yep.
And to introduce the record, it's like the Bible, a table of content. I say certain things and I put the record on and it match what I said. You know what I'm saying? If it's a record about a breakup or about your girl leave you or something, I give you a whole little story about boom, 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 boom. Then I drop the record about So little did I know I was become a record breaker from that point, because to break a record, I always just introduce the record and that's where my intros came from. I got a couple platinum records, a couple gold records just from intros.
Yeah, facts.
And but when I did those intros, most of them back in the day, I wasn't doing it for clout, so I could get work. I didn't know I'd end up getting checks later on in life. You know what I'm saying? That's so fair. It's a great thing, and just like I told all my young friends, I said, be careful of the decisions you make, because you can't choose the consequences.
Yeah. Now you have a legendary mixtape series, R&R mixtapes. I'm not going to say what it is, but you know what I mean, it's a legendary series, and that drop that you have at the beginning, it became synonymous with amazing music for street artists and up and coming. What was the motivation for that drop, and you know, how did you decide to start using it in all your mixtapes the way you did?
Because I always felt like I was the realest. You know, I always felt like
Yeah.
I was real.
Yeah.
My mom always tell me like, to be real is giving without expecting nothing back.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, you know, I feel like I'm real because I'm always giving, I'm always helping, you know, I just feel like I'm real. So I'm thinking, I said, okay, I'm gonna name it R&R.
Yeah.
And it just took off.
Who
A
was the
couple
first
of,
mixtape? Do you remember who was the first mixtape that you used or you did?
my first mixtape, ugh, my first mixtape, I think it was some independent guys.
Yeah, you were always a champion for independence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was an independent guy, but my first mixtape that took me across the line was Pliers.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's called 36 ounces.
Yeah.
It went crazy, crazy, crazy. My second biggest mixtape was Rick Ross.
Facts. Yeah.
Then my third huge mixtape was Gucci, zone, zone 6, zone 4 to
Yeah.
zone 6.
Yeah.
That went magnificently big. And then I just keep going like Dolph, Gotti, all these people. And then I fell with Lucci, and we just like,
Yeah.
me and Lucci bonded, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Amazing.
And we dropped some hits. Like we got some hits. He just got home, so we're about to get right back in the studio, you know?
Okay, so you're going back in the studio. Yeah.
So I have to, man. It's Lucci made my life very, very easy for me.
Wow, because you had already had, I mean, I'm not going to mention names, but you had a lot of success before the TIG situation.
I
know
did,
executive
but
roles. So what was big about the TIG situation to you
because
that
Lucci was the one that put my music out on all platforms, shoot the video, let me get the BMI. After he showed me how to do BMI and all that stuff, that's when I started getting money from the other records I've made.
Yeah, all at once. Yeah.
Yeah, so he taught me the game.
That's amazing because, like I said, we met actually at HDR 08 in Atlanta. I came up to you at the hotel and I gave you the only copy of Stop Beef and Start Eating. Like you and St. James are really close, man. You were the first major endorsement we had, man. So like I said, I'm very familiar with this. When did you decide to start Cool Running DJs, and how does it feel to know you've put so many DJs in positions to live out their dreams?
Man, Cool Running DJs is like, because you know my crew used to be, it was just me and about 3 more guys that would call us the Cool Running DJs, the Cool Running crew. And then I just went worldwide with it, you know what I'm saying? And started getting everybody involved. And we are like, we still a family till today.
Yeah, thanks.
You were still a family until today. And it's like, I always loved the DJ because every DJ in my crew, no one played this record. We never played this record.
Thanks.
We never disrespect any DJ and we never undercut any DJ. That was our legacy, you know what I'm saying? And I started Cool Running DJ, I think, in 96.
Wow. Okay. So
in 96. And so they get older, we get younger ones and younger ones and younger ones until now. We got a nice crew, but most of the older guys either retire or they're doing something else. But
how do you stay so active now? Like you said, you've been in this game so long. You got the hottest platform in the world right now for independent artists. So you're still as hungry as you ever was. How do you stay so focused and hungry at this stage in your career?
The young artists make me hungry because I see how hungry some of them are.
Yeah.
And some of them is willing to learn. You could talk to them. And some of them is not. They don't listen. But most of them do listen.
Yeah.
And sometimes they come to me and they will say, well, like, hey, man, I'm trying to get signed. I'm like, if you have no motion, how is somebody going to sign you?
Yeah, thanks.
A lot of artists don't understand nowadays you got to have motion because the labels don't put so much money into guys that sound so good, but they never made it nowhere.
Yeah, they never work.
Yep. So now they want to see you getting about, $4,000 a show, and then they know if you can get 4, they can make it 8. Yeah. Or even more. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them don't listen, and a lot of them do. And the music has changed a lot. Like when we was coming up, it was 3 verses on a record.
Yeah, facts. Yep.
Now the records are like a minute and a half.
Right, it's over before it starts. A
You know?
reggae album, that would just be the intro. Or a reggae song, that would be the intro that starts the song.
Yeah, you're right about that. But
Now, like I said, I met you at HDR, the Hitman DJ. Shout out to Casper and Greg Street. How did you guys meet up and form this amazing team that you had that really broke so many Atlanta artists, so many California art? Like the whole industry really comes from your guys' lineage. So how did you guys meet and start working together?
well, we used to do a Black College reunion in Florida in Daytona, and this guy came up and like, man, what's going on? I said, man, some food back there. We were cooking some curry chicken and some fish and all that, you know, because we always go for the weekend and DJ the whole weekend. Yep. He said, my name is Casper, and I'm from Blase Blase. And I said, come on, eat with us, man. He came back there and broke bread with us, him and his partner. I was sit back there, DJ Drizzle, I was, and we eat.
Yeah, absolute drizzle.
Ever since that day, we became, he said, I'm starting the DJ thing, man. I've heard about you. I know what you do. I want you to be the vice president for it. Yeah. At that time, any clout is clout to me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it was me, him, and Greg Street. And we kick it off, man. And we used to go to LA and, you know, have all these conventions, go to New York to all the labels. It was fun at the time because you was getting to know people and you was getting to meet people. In this business, you might meet 20 people, but only one of them might be bona fide, but at least you met 20.
Yeah, facts.
And you get that one that's bona fide. So I met a lot of people from back in those days, and I kept all my contacts. I kept all my friends. And I remember I wanted to know so much about the labor business. I won't say the labor name, but I called him and told him I wanted to be an intern. And I went to New York, and I was there about a month.
Yeah.
And I was staying with my cousin. I went, and I was at the labor. But I made sure I stole all the contacts that I could.
Yeah, that's the cheat code.
I had my own email base, you know, database.
Yeah.
You know, and the dude that had asked me to do it, he called me one day and said, hey, man, I want to blast a record out, man. I said, just send it to me. I got all y'all email anyway.
Yeah.
He laughed. He just laughed. He just laughed. He didn't get mad.
Another thing that you really did dope I seen was artists from Florida. You would put them on a big ass bus to make sure they all got to these conferences. And can you speak to the unity of Florida? Because you've been there since day one. Before Florida became this major hub where all these major artists are sitting now, it was kind of on the uprising, and you were a very vital piece to it becoming what it is today. What was the scene like back in those days when you were trying to help build the Florida market?
But see, the thing about Florida, at those days, we was real close. Yeah. You know, we all was close. If something was going on, we'd call each other and be like, hey, man, there's something going on in Miami, something going on in Atlanta, and we get together and we all just mob it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We all go together. So people always respect the Florida movement because we always stick together. Now it's a little different now because everybody got their own little thing going on, blah, blah, blah. But back then we had like Young Cash. We had Tom G. We had Rated R. We had Moot Boy. You know, D-Boy. All these people was back then.
Yeah, I remember D-Boy. Yeah, he was fired.
Yeah, T-Ron, T-Pain. All these people back then was different. You know what I'm saying? You know, Trick Daddy. Everybody was, you know, it was a little different back then. So, you know, you could reach out to everybody on their phone right away. Boom, boom, boom. You know, we coming down there. Can we do this? Can we do that? So now you got the internet. It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. You know, now I remember, like I said, in Cali, you guys did the Hitman DJs West in California, and I know you've got a lot of successes, a lot of accolades. But did you ever think you would be a part of the rollout for the Beats by Dre headphones? Like, people don't really know the impact that the Hitman DJs and you had with making that a viable, you know, product. Did you ever imagine that was going to be the opportunity? And what was your experience with Beats by Dre on that end?
It's so crazy because if it was now, I probably would have a little percentage or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But back then, all I wanted was some headphones.
Yeah.
And I had all the Dre Beats headphones, and we do everywhere we went. We did this convention and this rollout with it. You know, whether it was New York, Atlanta, Memphis, wherever we went, Texas, we always do these rollouts with it. You know what I'm saying? And I had so many free Dre Beats, like people didn't even really know what it was. Like I was giving them away like it was just regular headphones, you know, and look what it is today.
Yeah, I remember with the Maxine Chicken and Waffles. We were there with YG Mustard, Ty Dollar Sign before there anyone. I actually took that picture of the Hitman DJs where you guys were all standing out there, and the
Mhm.
proudest moment I had was all the DJs had the Beats by Dre headphones. It wasn't like only the bosses got the product. You guys made sure the whole team got it, and that's a family. Like I can tell that about you, Bigga. You really care about people and helping them succeed. How does it feel to see where you're at today? Like I said, you've touched a lot of lives and you've changed a lot of people's, careers. How does it feel looking back now for you?
A lot of people do a lot of things for people and they never did it back for them, and they
Yeah.
took it to heart,
Yeah.
and it makes them like just bitter.
Yeah.
But I remember, and I'm gonna tell you this story. Will answer all your questions. I broke this artist one time, and I used to pull the biggest crowd in Jacksonville in the club. I pulled the biggest crowd, and it was my birthday. We had 2,200 people in there, but he didn't show up. But the people
Oh,
really
wow.
just want to hear me ride out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And before I got on the mic, it was an older dude named Arthur Johnson. He was standing next to me, and I said, "Hey man, I feel so bad he didn't come, but I'm gonna give these people a show."
Yeah.
And he said, "Why?" I said, "There's a lot of people here." He said, "Man, look, man, you got a brand new." I had a Lexus coupe at the time, so you got a Lexus coupe outside. Your kids are going to college. You got a nice house. Look how you dress, man. You are blessed.
Yeah.
If you worried about this, man, you're blocking your blessing. Only God can bless you. Can't no man bless you. A man can give you an offering, but they can't bless you.
Yeah.
And ever since that day, whatever I do, I look to God for my blessing, not no man.
Yeah.
And that's why I could keep doing it, because I always know whatever I do, God gonna bless me 10 times, man.
Yeah.
10 times, tenfold. He gonna bless me 10 times more than what the person do. So I don't look to nobody for no blessing, because can't no man bless me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm all about God, man. I'm like, 4 years ago I lost my kidney because I got diabetes and high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And I'm doing dialysis. I do dialysis like 3 times a week.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I'm supposed to get a kidney real soon, but people ask me like, "Oh my God, my family, they do this and they're so tired and worn out. How do you still tour? How you do this?" And I'm like, as long as you're accountable for what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And then if you call me like, "Bigga, you all right?" And I said, "Oh man, I'm so sick." And you be like, "Damn, man, I'm gonna pray for you." Now I feel it, because you feel sorry for me. I feel worse sick. Cause now you sick because I'm sick.
Yeah. Yeah. It changes the vibe a little bit.
So I just take accountable for it. I told God, like, a lot of parents died and left their kids a gang of money, houses, all type of land and shit. But my parents left me diabetes and high blood pressure, and I just gotta live with it.
Yeah.
I inherit that.
I appreciate you saying that, though, because a lot of people in our culture, a lot of the DJs, a lot of people in this entertainment industry, this is what we deal with because of our diets and the traveling stuff. Like, is that a role you're wanting to lead into, is becoming a voice for the people who are
Oh
dealing
man,
with
that's
that?
all I talk about, man. I
Yeah.
talk my kids, everything. And I listen to Steve Jobs,
Yeah.
Steve Jobs say he wished when he was young, he ate food like medicine. So when he got old, he had to eat medicine like food.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people got to understand, like me, I'm on medication, but I still try to go the holistic way a little bit, but I still take my medicine, when I'm supposed to. And what I had a little thing going on with me, and I look at the doctor and I said, "Well, every time I get a pill from you, I feel like y'all only gave me the pill for the symptoms.
Yeah.
What does the cure cost? Does it cost more? Can I
Yeah.
buy the cure pill?"
Yeah. Can I have the real stuff?
And you were like, no, sir. It doesn't go like that. We try our best. I said, but it system will go away, then it come back. Then I get the same pills, or maybe a different pill. Then the system will go, the symptoms will go, and then it come back. So I'm like, it got to be a cure pill around here somewhere, man.
Definitely.
So you just got to believe in God, man, and believe in yourself and stay happy. Because when you worry, your blood pressure go up.
Yep.
You could just be out of here. You know what I'm saying? You can't worry about nothing you can't do. Cause my grandmama always tell me, If it's raining outside, just grab an umbrella.
Yeah.
Because you can't stop the rain.
Facts. You just gotta get under an umbrella. Yeah.
And life is what you make it, man. Because no one makes it out of life alive. Nobody.
Yeah. Facts.
When it's over with, it's over with. You feel me? So, you know, I'm in my 60s now, and it's like I still can outwork a 21-year-old because this is what I do.
Yeah.
And my kids will be like, you need to sit your ass down somewhere, you know? And I'm like, I can't because I'm always moving. That's what keeps me living. That's what keeps me going. And I like to see the young jits, make it in the music business and take care of their family. I love that, man. I want to see the young jits take care of their family. A lot of them don't know you ain't got to buy a bunch of cars, a bunch of jewelry, a bunch of guns. Get you some property and stuff. So if this don't work, you can lean back on something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I like to talk to them about the right things. And me being an A&R, I like to tell them, like, just study YouTube. YouTube is the best teacher.
Facts.
Learn
YouTube
about
University.
Learn about points, learn about publishing. So when you go in a room and it's a question and somebody talk, you don't look like a damn fool. Yeah. You know how to answer those questions,
Now, I know you're working on your documentary. Super excited to see the stories. Coach K was posted a clip for you today showing Coach K is going to be a part of it. What's the motivation behind this documentary, and how exciting is it to see your fellow colleagues and the reaction they're giving for you already?
It makes you want to cry,
Yeah, thanks.
Because the stuff that I've done, they documented. And I don't want nobody to talk about me unless they've been around me or know me. Because I don't want nobody writing nothing down. I just want it pure, And it's so many people, dog. I mean, we're going to drop it in August, and, we deep in it right now. It's so many people.
Yeah.
So many big people and so many. I treat the regular people just like the big people.
Yeah. When I told St. James we were going to do this conversation, he was so excited because, like, one of my biggest accomplishments was when you came to Indianapolis with Kingpin, and you're in Stop Beefing Radio studio, and I walk in and we're just chilling. Like, it was such a great experience because you really get out here and touch the people. Like, I know we can't say all the places you've been, but you really make it a point to touch the streets, as they say. What is it about you that makes you still want to go back into the up and coming neighborhoods, or find these new artists and give them these chances that you're giving them?
Because when I was young, these little kids used to sit on the steps and watch me run to the cars and serve with my gun in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I moved to the suburbs and my kids started going to little private schools and all that stuff, I can't forget about them because our destinies are tied together.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't want to be Michael Jordan. They want to be like me, what I'm doing. So, we create a lot of this stuff. We put it on them. So it's up to us to go back and help. You might can't help all of them, but you can help some of them. And a lot of them, man, I ain't messing with them young niggas, man. They do this. They don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
They know nothing about this. They just go in the booth and start rapping. They don't know how to get it mixed and mastered right. They don't know put the codes in there so you can track it. They don't know nothing. And don't nobody teach it to them. No. All they do is take their couple of dollars and do something for them, and they're gone. You don't teach. So what kind of OG can you be if you're not teaching the young ones nothing?
Facts.
I got a book coming out in 2 months. It's nothing but intros, a motivational book. Like,
oh, that's fire.
And my son just turned 15, and he did all the beats for the audiobook.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've seen your son as a producer now. How does it feel to see the success he's having, and what kind of game are you giving him? Like, you're Bigga Rankin, so you can help him skip some of the headaches that other people deal with. What kind of game are you telling him?
I just tell him that you got to work.
Yeah.
You got to work. Every day you got to work because you only get what you put in.
Yeah.
If you put in 25%, you're going to get back 25%. Every now and then you might get lucky and get 26%, but whatever you put in, you can't sow sunflower seed and reap corn.
Yeah.
You got to sow corn to reap corn. And I tell him that same thing I tell you. Every day he get up, he see my text. Be careful of the decisions you make because you don't get to choose the circumstances.
Yeah.
And one day he asked me, he said, okay, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
I said, you might choose to have sex with a girl without a condom, and you say, well, the worst can happen is she get pregnant, but the worst could happen, you could get AIDS.
Facts. Yeah.
You know, you can't choose the circumstances. Don't ever think you can choose the circumstances unless you're doing something good.
Yeah.
You know, so now he know, and I tell him, like, a lot of people are gonna reach out to you just because of me.
Yeah.
But you just let them know, like, you're your own man, and you can make up your own mind on what you want to do. Because I don't want nobody to lead you down a rabbit hole. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to just have you do just anything. He's very smart, very, very smart, A.B. on a student, and he do his thing and he listens. And just got his learner's permit.
Oh, fire.
Man, that's my boy. I love him to death. For real.
I see. And so with the Trapping from the Basement, what was the motivation for you creating this platform? Because like you said, at this point, you're already A&R with TIG. You're on top of the world. You're Bigga Rankin. You've broke everybody in the game. Now you create a platform for more up and coming. What was the motivation for that for you?
Well, I used to be on the road, like I used to come there where you was at.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic came in.
Yeah.
So we couldn't move. So I said, well, if I can't move, I got to bring him to me. And at the same time, my wife said to me, she said, you're going to bring him to you? What if you catch
a
room? Like, Jesus, I ain't thought of that. So I said, I'll do it in the mass. So we started doing the mass at first, you know. I was doing it, and it just took off. People coming from damn near Canada. People came from everywhere. And it's been that way for the last 4 years. People coming from everywhere. And I stopped it for about 4 months because I ended up caught COVID. But I caught it. I went to a club and a guy was talking in my face. I just knew it was him. I don't care what nobody said.
He said it was him.
I just knew it was him, you know. And he was coughing. And I kept telling him, like, don't talk in my face. And I caught it. And I got real sick because I got diabetes. I got high blood pressure. So I was in the hospital for like 4 or 5 weeks. I couldn't breathe, nothing. So I even heard the doctors was talking like his lungs is just not functioning. I don't know what's going on. Oh, wow. I don't know what to say. And I'm like, I can hear you, man. I can hear y'all. And, God just came and told me, like, he ain't got no replacement for me.
You're needed. Yeah.
I'm getting to go home. And I came out and I came up with one thing since 4 years ago. I do it every now and then. I said, people that put work in, I always want to go to their city and do a legendary honor to them and give them their flowers.
Yeah.
Because I've been to a lot of funerals and those people can't hear a goddamn thing you're saying.
Thanks.
You know, and I got my flowers a couple of times from a lot of different artists, and my big concerts that was sold out made me feel more than if you paid me the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's something that that's one of my big things that even when I cool down, I want to keep doing that until I leave this earth. I always want to move around and people like you and old boy, you know, come through and give you all your flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because people that do a lot for this game, because what we did for the game, if we'd have got paid for it, we'd have retired. Oh, yeah. We'd have been retired. Because we lose a lot of money just trying to make everybody happy.
Trying to help everybody, yeah. And that was something you were really big about. Like, you were always like, how can I help you? Not so much what's the compensation going to be. But, I mean, we've talked about your mixtapes. We talked about that. We got to highlight your parties, man. You were the original movie maker. Like, let's go back. If I'm at a Bigga Rankin concert, party, DJ, and you're at the turntable, what is the experience like for people who missed that or didn't get a chance to see it?
The thing about it, I'm the ghetto CNN.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the MC, the master of ceremony. Yeah, while I'm on that microphone rocking, 95% of the people got to be staring at me.
Yeah, facts.
Because I have something to say. You never know what I'm going to say, but I have something to say. And if somebody died, I'm going to ride for them. Even though they had their funeral that Saturday, that night, we got a T-shirt on. We're going to ride for them every song they like. And we're going to weep. We're going to mourn. We're going to do what I was the ghetto child. I'm the ghetto fabulous. Yeah. You know, the police just called me Martin Luther because every time I throw a block party, I got a whole city.
Yeah.
You know, so being on the microphone have taught me a whole lot. Remember, I was the only DJ that played gospel music in the club.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
it turned it up. It turned it up.
You know, and if it's a fight, boom, I'm put on gospel music.
Yep.
My grandmama say, anybody fight doing a gospel song, get out their way. They
Yeah.
evil.
They're evil and they go to hell. Now, we mentioned a lot of your highlight. I know we're getting to the end of the conversation, so I want to make sure I highlight a few things. We mentioned a lot of your my highlights that I found for you, but what's your personal highlight? Like when you look back at your history, I know you've done a lot. What's a moment that stands out to you and you just are so excited or happy about what you did?
Let me tell you, man, you probably wouldn't understand because I don't know how many kids you have, but I got a bunch of kids, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me to take care of all of them, man, and see all, I got 10 girls and 2 boys. I had 3 boys.
Wow.
One passed away in 2004. He had drowned.
Crazy.
But I got 2 boys and I got 10 girls. Everybody grown. I got a bunch of grandkids. The highlight of my life is the couple of times a year I take all my grandkids a day to Orlando and get a big ass house.
Okay. Yeah.
And just be there with them when we go to Walmart, all the stores, and buy a bunch of stuff and then have them play games and win prizes all weekend. And then take them to the water park. I don't know. I know sex is a good feeling.
Yeah.
But looking at my grandkids happy is one of the best feeling in the world. And I feel like that's why I'm so blessed. And I feel like that's why God keep me around. Because I love my kids and I love my grandkids. I did a lot in music, man. I always said to myself, when I'm out here, the one person that I would ever want to meet was Jay-Z.
Ooh, okay.
Because I know everybody else and it's cool. Yeah. And I was with somebody and Jay-Z walked in the room and he said, hello. I couldn't even speak.
So you still get starstruck. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think I'm a star. I just think,
wow.
I just think I'm a youth that God put here to trick these young dudes, to help these young dudes out the street before the law trick them out the street.
That's what I always loved about you, Bigga, is you took people from the streets who had, no opportunities, but had a talent, and you would nurture them, give them opportunities, put them in rooms where they never would have got. And then their lives changed, their family's lives changed. Like, you're a change agent. You're not just a music DJ. You're not just all these things people put you in the box on. You, like I said, Martin Luther, like, you impact your community more than most people would ever. Like, and I want to highlight that for you. I have to ask, because people want to know, do you have any advice for artists or DJs that want to be in the music industry today, dealing with this social media and all that? Any advice you would give them to get into the game today?
Number one, social media is undefeated.
Yeah,
the internet is undefeated. If somebody say F you, this, that, just tell them God bless you, have a nice day. And then it's gonna be one post long, one post strong. But if you continue, then both of y'all are going to end up losing at the end of the day. When it comes to a DJ, I feel like a DJ should study music.
Facts.
And when you go to play music, play all types of music. Play the older music, the newer music. Just don't play the hits and just walk out of there.
Yeah. And anybody can do that.
If independent artists have a good song, then you can hit a verse. You don't have to play the whole song.
Yep.
You can hit a verse. You can hit the hook until you can get them to start messing with it. Because I always want to break records. I just couldn't DJ and not playing something that you haven't heard before.
Right.
I might get to about 1 o'clock and I'm going to be like, all right, y'all go to the bar and I get y'all a drink now. I'm going to touch y'all with a little something new.
Yeah.
Then just give me 5 minutes and I'm going to get back. And I might play 3 songs in 5 minutes, 3 first verses of each song in 5 minutes. And then when I get back, I'm turning this away up so people don't really get boring.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk off. That's why I don't like, if a person come in the club and offer me some money to play a record, I tell them, like, I'd rather just play a verse because playing the whole song might not make it.
Nobody wants to hear it. Yeah.
Because it's brand new.
Yeah.
And then I tell guys, like, if you pay to open for an artist, if you got a single, just go up there and do the single. Yep. Let the DJ bring it back and do it again.
Yeah.
They do the first verse, let them bring it back, then do the song. But don't do one verse of 6 songs. Like, by the time you get 3 minutes, people like, they're not here for that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't listen. A lot of people don't listen because, like my mama say, if they know everything, you can't tell them nothing, so leave them alone.
Yeah. But, now, how important is a team to you, and who are some of the members of the Bigga Rankin team that makes the operation, go the way it goes?
Man, I got Sierra, which is, she run things. I got DJ Drea. That's my DJ. I Trapping from the Basement.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? My wife, she the producer, Trapping from the Basement. Then I
All
got
right.
Shane. In the DJ crew, I got Shane, Sap, Kool-Aid, all this Smack Silly, DJ Big V, all these people, DJ Hype Man Crunk, all these people basically, they run everything. Like,
Yep.
it's not like I'm rich and famous or what, but I be having so much to do. But
Yep.
I still go in. Then TIG, we have a whole DJ crew at TIG too. So we do a lot, man. It'll never be too much work because I love people.
Yeah.
And I always tell people when I find them, I laugh with them. And I say, well, if I can't joke with you, I can't be serious with you.
Facts.
So me and everybody get along. I don't really have no problem. Unless if a person don't like me, it got to be a good reason.
Yeah.
And they maybe should tell me so maybe I can change. Because I tell people all the time, I'm not going to come here and tell you I'm sorry all the time. So if I'm doing something that they don't like, tell me and I change my behavior. I never have to apologize.
Yeah. Now, what do you like to do for fun? If you're not doing music, if you're not doing Trapping from the Basement or helping all these artists, as we said, what are you doing on downtime to enjoy yourself?
Oh, man. Get on FaceTime with my grandkids,
Ah, yeah.
And they know all the new music, too. They're like, Granddaddy, heard this? This is fire. Boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's my new fun.
Yeah.
It's with the grandkids, man, because I miss a couple of things with my kids. I didn't want to miss nothing with the grandkids. I love to see them picture day. I love it. Now my son is 15, so it's like I have fun with him too. We ride around and listen to his beats and be laughing and talking. And he just got his learner's permit, so you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's driving you around now.
It's cool. It's just cool, man. It's real cool. A lot of people don't really understand that friends you can choose, but family you got to keep.
Facts.
So I'm all about family now. Like I got friends, but I'm deep into my family. And my TIG family, Fly, Lucci, Shalon, Era, just nephew, my whole crew there, man. It's like they family, man. You know what I'm saying? They family, man. The way they treat me like my own family. Day, everybody treat me like family, man. It's just different.
Salute to my fam, Court Digger. He sent me a record of yours that you're on with Jay Realty. Bigga Rankin style as always, another hit coming around. How does it feel when you go into the situation where it's your friend and they're asking you to help their artist? Court Digger is a legend in his own right, but now he's tapped into you and say, hey, I got this artist. I want you to be a part of it. How does it feel to know that your friends are reaching out to you for those opportunities?
And that's cool because whatever opportunity I have, I turn them on to it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter who you're helping. If the artist don't want this, you're just wasting your time. The artist got to want this 100%. If the artist don't want this, you're wasting your time.
Did it take you a long time to realize that? Like you said, I know you've helped a lot of artists. A lot of artists want to tell you what needs to be done, and you're who you are. Did it take a while to understand that a lot of times the artists don't have a clue what they're talking about, and you just got to find the ones that really want it? They
don't have a clue, but some of them have a couple of dollars, and they feel like because they have a couple of dollars, they can be all right. But you can't buy your way in this business.
Nope.
Pretty soon the money gonna run out. Because I tell all these young dudes, if you're putting your money behind yourself, every 90 days, audit yourself and see how much followers you gain, how much motion you got. And if you ain't got nothing, just go back to the table. But don't keep going. Go back to the table and come up with something else.
Do you have anything coming up? I know you're always working. Anything we can circle on the calendar for you or to make sure to check out when it drops?
Right now, I'm just Luke just got home, so I'm gonna be working with Luke. You know what I'm saying? But I got about 2 or 3 mixtape I'm about to drop.
Okay.
When I'm going to the studio tonight, so I'm gonna text you the name of them. So
where can people go get your mixtapes or go get those classic mixtapes if they want to go relive those moments that you created? Most
of them is on live mixtape, and
shout out Pesh.
And then when it comes to my songs, you just go to Apple Music or Spotify and type my name in. All my music, especially Apple Music, all my music, hundreds and hundreds of my intros are on there. And all my tapes that I used to make in the club live, I'm gonna put them up on YouTube. I think it's May 1st. We're gonna put them up on YouTube, all of them.
Oh, that's fire. So you can go relive those moments.
Thousands of them, because a lot of older people, they want that back, you know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I go host parties a lot, but I just try to choose where I want to go.
Do you think it's still a valuable tool for artists and DJs to go to these DJ conferences? Shout out to my family Fleet DJs. I know Core DJs. There's a lot of conferences that go on. From your viewpoint, because you've been a part of this game for a while, is that still a valuable asset for artists, you think?
It still is a valuable asset, because every day you learn something new.
Yep.
And it's about music.
Yep.
You know, you're going to go there. And the thing about going to this convention, you meet a lot of DJs. Yep.
Thanks.
You know, and you meet a lot of tastemakers. Yep. You know, so from different cities and stuff. So it's always a good thing to do. You just got to know, you just can spend what you can afford to lose. You know, you don't go to these things and want to bring 50 grand and think you're going to be a star when you leave. No, just go there to learn.
Learn. Network and learn. Yep.
You go and network and learn. Just don't go there and think you can go buy yourself into the music industry, because that's hard.
Now, I know we went a little over, Bigga. I'm sorry, but I had to get this story.
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. You know, when people like you that have been around for so long. Yeah. You know, I used to come up there and just, y'all used to invite me, and I bring my like 5 artists. Yep. They all used to come there and, you know, get the interviews, and then we might go to a club later on or whatever. And these things are documented. I got videos of these things. I got to be a documentary. I got videos of all that stuff, you know.
Yeah, we got the video of you when we were at the Hitman, and we were saying stop beefing, and you're like, "Yo, stop beefing, yo. We don't beef. We beef with the turntables." Like you've been so iconic to what we're doing. So I want to let you know, Bigga, anything I can do to help you stop beef from radio, you got it. If it's a post you need shared or anything, I'll keep an eye now. You know, we're gonna make sure everybody sees it. Last thing is, what do you want to say to your fans and supporters after all these years before we get out of here? Oh, there you go. You're muted.